well, almost 11 o'clock now, because we're getting close to the noon hour. You can see this. Skies have been clear all morning. We hardly had any marine layer. It's just a beautiful day. And we thank you for starting yours with us. Now, if you're tired of spending money on medical care, there might be an easier way. Pet-friendlier option available. It's a wonderful new book. It's called Dog as My Doctor, Cat as My Nurse, and it explores how animals can help enrich your life and keep you out of the doctor's office. So I got a copy of the book right here. It's only been out 3 weeks. Joining me this morning is author Carlyn Montes De Oca. Carlyn, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I've really liked the premise of this book. Now, first of all, let's start with your qualifications. You're a licensed acupuncturist.
Yes, I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I'm also a plant-based nutritional consultant in Northern California, and I'm an animal-human health expert as well.
So you know a thing or two about human health.
A thing or two.
Which led you to write this book.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to us about how animals can, we know how they can enrich our lives, but from a practical matter, a health standpoint.
Right. I first noticed that animals started helping me when I was very young, just emotionally. I kind of grew up a little bit lonely, and I had a lot of animals around me. And I thought, wow, isn't this amazing? I feel so much better around them. And then later, as I got older, I went through a divorce, and then I had cats. And cats really helped me kind of go through that period of time. And then when I got into my private practice, people started sharing with me story after story about how their animals were helping them. And I realized, wow, this is much more pervasive than I ever had thought. And now science is kicking in, telling us it's good for blood pressure, good for cholesterol, good for fitness, good for emotional health. So many things that are important for all of us to take advantage of.
And can you think of any of those stories that you heard that you remember that are really poignant that you could tell us about?
So many. I have a story from a guy who walked across the country with his dog after the death of his wife, and he felt his dog saved his life, to Jack Canfield, who's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. It's a wide range of stories. I have a story about cats who helped a couple who, the husband was going through Parkinson's disease, or is going through with Parkinson's disease, and he could no longer walk with his wife. And one day the wife was walking down the street and she heard the cat chattering behind her. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want the cat out. But the cat has followed her on her daily walks for 2 years now, where she was feeling so lonely walking on her own. And the cat insists that she go out on a walk with her by either chasing her, swatting her, or stealing something of hers and making her chase her. But if she's not out at 10 o'clock in the morning, that cat is there with her, trying to remind her to get out and walk.
And cats do, I mean, specifically cats. I was mentioning earlier that I read an article about how they do help reduce blood pressure if you have high blood pressure. Is that soothing? Is that what it is?
Well, I think that I don't think we totally know everything, but anybody who has a cat knows what it feels like when you put that animal next to you. And it helped me when I was going through a lot of anxiety, insomnia. I always say they help me with cat naps, because they help me to go to sleep, they help me to relax. And now we're just seeing that just for a few moments, holding an animal or being with an animal helps turn off the brain for a little while. So you can just kind of get out of that spinning record that so many of us have going.
And from a physical, scientific standpoint, what do you think it is that actually causes that reaction in humans to animals, that they receive from animals?
Right. I don't think we've totally, we know the reactions. We know they decrease blood pressure. We know they help with cholesterol. We know they help with anxiety and with depression. I think there's still a lot to explore to determine, but I think any animal lover will know that there's animals are very pure, they're very loving, they give you unconditional love, they don't judge you.
Right.
So isn't that healing in itself?
I know when we sit here and talk about your book, it's dogs and cats, but other animals.
Of course. If I started saying, okay, I'm going to write about all animals, but of course, the book got so huge, so that's a second and a third book. But for now, we're starting with our companion animals, dogs and cats, who everybody can relate to.
And Carlyn, our viewers who might want to get the book, where can they find it?
They can find it at any bookstore, but today especially, I'm going to be doing a book reading at the Barnes & Noble in Loma Point.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be at 1 o'clock, and people can buy it there. And 50% of my proceeds are going to be going to help Lionel's Legacy, which is a senior dog sanctuary, and they will be my co-sponsors there today.
All right. Carlyn Montes De Oca.
Yes,
Did I get it right?
You were perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a good read.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks
it's a
for joining us.
pleasure.
Likewise. Likewise. All right. We'll be back with more Good Morning San Diego right after this.